And as good as the reps were on the field, he's a great person. Was awesome for our locker room. We'll get him back in here ASAP so he can be around our football team. But really, really good veteran presence. I know he's not the oldest player, but he's been through a lot. He's been on different teams, so I just think great impact on our football team.
Opportunity for Siaki then to see the field for the first time?
Potentially, yes. Mm-hmm.
We talked to after Jed was hurt. You kind of expressed optimism that he might be back.
Yeah.
Just not.
Yeah, you gotta always go with what the injuries are, and sometimes there's complications to it or whatever. Maybe I don't know if there's complications, but with more time, figured that surgery was the best option for him.
Does it make it rewarding for you that you have a team that has proven to be so resilient? We're talking about all the injuries and in ways that they might derail other teams, they haven't derailed you.
No, I mean it's not. We're not in the place in the season to even think about that. We got to find a way to get a win this week.
Shape the resilience.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and that's we talked about it before, Jake. Just you trust the leaders of the football team is really what it comes down to.
Kevin, you're one of 9 teams that have 8 or more wins. The other 8 all used 1 4. What's your comment?
No comment.
Hey, Kevin, Miles was very critical of the officiating on Sunday. Do you think it was a day where it was abnormal that he was held and grabbed and whatever else?
Yeah, Miles gets a ton of attention. Breaking news in the Sports Center. The coordinators, when they're getting ready to game plan for him, I mean, the game plan is built around stopping him. So he gets a ton of attention via tight end chips, running back chips, slides to him. And he's a difficult guy to block. So there's always going to be plays that the offensive line is holding on for dear life, sometimes literally. So he fights through it. I know he was frustrated, but he's just got to keep, and he will keep playing and not let that get in the way of him playing really good football.
Oh, I know you appreciate his frustration. Do you worry that comments like that, though, could backfire on him and then it turns into even a
No, I think he has respect for this game. He understands that. He's frustrated. It's something I talk to the officials about every week leading up to the game is keeping an eye on the guys that are blocking him. So it really comes with being a great player. We want the other team to play within the rules, obviously, but it hasn't slowed him down. I mean, he continues to play at a very high level.
Frustrating you, those coaches at the diplomatic channels of sending in the plays to the league office aren't helping in that regard?
Yeah, I've been around too long. I know this song and dance. So it is what it is.
Just the DTR twice. Effective?
Yeah. I mean, on those 2 plays, yes. Yeah, for us, Tony, it's a game-to-game proposition about what you think is best for the team in that game. Last week was a couple plays, could be 0, could be 30, for him and for any of our players. That's how we operate. We just want to make sure that whatever it takes for that given game, we're going to put in the game plan.
Kevin, Ethan, any worry that stinger might prevent him from playing on Sunday?
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, any injury, you want to make sure you see how he's doing throughout the week. I think he's doing better, but I think we'll know more later in the week.
How do the efforts of the guys that have gone out throughout the season, how do those efforts play into that next man up mentality that the guys that are replacing them?
Yeah, I think, Cam, it goes back to we've spent a lot of time together, this football team, and you go all the way back to the spring and you put in the work. And I think ultimately you trust all of your players because they're putting in the work beside the starter. So it's not like the starters are the only players that are practicing in a given week. Again, and going all the way back to training camp, if you will. I've seen all of our guys. I've seen them in action. I know what they're capable of. I know how hard they work, and that's where the confidence comes from.
Kevin White was saying that Joe, your long lost brother, was a real calming influence on the sideline in the final couple minutes. How important is it to have just another guy over there that's been through it and can kind of calm things down a bit?
Yeah, I think again it speaks to Joe's, his expertise in this game. He's played a long time. He's seen a lot, and he's definitely willing to share what he's seen with his teammates. I think he does a great job in our meeting room with the quarterbacks. I think Dorian and PJ can learn a lot from the different things that he's seen. But anytime you've had turns at this, anytime you've played in these games, you've played in big games, I think that informs you and how you deal with the things that are coming at you, and they're coming at you fast. now as well.
It's not easy walking in a locker room in the middle of the season, like Joe has done. Just what's it say about him that it just seems like, I mean, I realize his resume is what his resume is, but a guy that was out on the street waiting for a phone call is able to walk in and not only just, really earn the respect of everyone in the locker room right away, but perform at a high level.
Yeah, I think it's to your point, Daryl. Obviously, performing at a high level earns respect. But I just think the way you work earns respect. I've been around a lot of players, quarterbacks, running backs, whatever it is. The guys that work gain the respect of their teammates, and I think Joe just fits that mold.
Even though BTR is their top backup, would he simulate Justin Fields?
We'll see. You could,
Game ball for
yeah.
doing
See if we can get another one. Mhm.
Well,
Yes.
For extra tackle, Alex Leatherwood really hasn't been out there able to do much lately, right?
Was battling an injury previously in the last couple of weeks.
So he's kind of.
He's coming along. He's getting better.
What Aaron Jones, 5 starts for Jet?
Yeah. It's hard to. You forget that he wasn't with us before. So I'd say number one is just understanding our system, and I think that goes back to his time with Coach Callahan. So he's got a really good feel for what we do from a technique perspective, and then diving in and making sure he knows what to do play to play. I think he's had a lot of really good moments for us. There's a nuance to what we do, and he's done it really well. But another guy, Scott, that I would put in the category, he's come in, doesn't say much, does his job, and I think the guys respect that.
When you guys, offensive line is that place where cohesion is so important, yet you guys have rotated, I think, 5 different starting combinations. What is it about Bill and Scott and the way they teach that you guys are able to sort of rotate through guys, yet it doesn't seem like miss much up front?
Yeah, well, I think Coach Callahan, Coach Peters do a great job. Coach Callahan has a wealth of experience. I forget what the number of years he's been coaching. He told me back at training camp what number training camp it was for him. But I think you apply all those lessons learned. I don't know if he's had that many starting lineups before, but I'm sure he's had to juggle things over the course of time. So he just does a really nice job of getting all the guys ready. And I think it speaks to that offensive line room in particular. And I mentioned this before, just as it relates to Dewan and some of our young guys. That's a great room to come up in with guys like Joel, with guys like Wyatt, Jack Conklin, obviously veterans in there, Nick Harris, a lot of pros, if you will. So they learn because that environment in that meeting room kind of demands it of you.
How many, you said he told you how many training camps?
Yeah, I can't remember what the number is. Yeah,
your
but
backup
he's seen a lot.
offensive line is not just that stretching. There's done stay at guard. That he takes snaps at tackle.
Yeah, Michael's been able to play in a bunch of positions for us. So that's the name of the game for backup linemen is versatility.
What is Sweat added to that defense if he got there? What makes it so good?
Yeah, really good player. We've gone against him when he was in Washington. Big, long, athletic, physical, great effort. He's pressuring the quarterback. He's getting sacks. You notice him right away just how big he is, but he plays really, really hard. I got a ton of respect for him.
Good.
Okay, thanks, guys.